Hey guys, hope everyone's doing really well today or tonight. I wanted to make a quick video on some easy ways you can grow your income. Now, obviously, there are ways that take a long, long time. For example, starting a YouTube channel like what I'm doing, or potentially climbing up the career ladder to find a job that actually pays a decent amount. Now, there are a bunch of different ways you can grow your income, but here are some ways that I found personally quite easy. And yeah, hopefully you guys can find some value in this too. Some might be easier than others. You might enjoy some, instead of others. So it just depends. So we'll get into it now and see, why, how, the best ways you can make some income. Now, in terms of increasing your 9 to 5 and business income, I think some of the ways you can do this is first off, you can learn some new skills in your role. For example, a sales skills. Now, even if you're not in sales, I think being able to sell yourself or sell the work you do will be really important. If you do work in sales, obviously learning how to sell will be crucial and can make a massive difference, but also to how you can improve as a person, right? So this could include how to negotiate. Now, a lot of people don't think of these things, and they'll normally look at, oh, I'm not getting paid enough, or my job doesn't allow me to get paid enough, or I'm in the wrong industry, etc. Now, I think being able to negotiate is so crucial. And I was really surprised when I heard that many people actually don't negotiate when they go find a new job, or they get a raise or a promotion. A lot of people will just take the first offer that's given to them, and they assume that that is the final. Now, I've always negotiated everything that I've received, and it almost always ends up being better than the initial offer. And it's nothing to do with like being rude or trying to make enemies. It's just about understanding how you can kind of convey your value to said person, and just easily communicate the reasons why you deserve to be paid X amount. Another really good way to increase your income is to demonstrate your contributions to your KPIs and to the company's growth. And being able to record successes is really important as well. Not many people will record what they do day in and day out, or more the big things that they're able to accomplish. Now, even something simple like increasing efficiency of some type of process that's already in the business. Maybe you get some really good feedback from a client. Maybe you're able to grow the income for the business through that relationship, or a relationship you have. Being able to really profile those achievements and demonstrate that you've gone well beyond, or your job expectations, and potentially you get a raise in proportion to what you've been able to achieve extra for the business, or it's time to get promoted. You've outgrown your current role, you're looking for a much higher salary, but doing much more and having much more responsibilities. Another really good way is to put your hand up for new projects, or find ways to increase efficiency. And this could be, for example, implementing a new software. Now, obviously, increasing efficiencies in a business or even at your job is really important, because you're likely saving yourself some time, which means you're able to be more productive, but you're also likely going to be saving other people time, including your boss, including those that work alongside you. Um, so, for example, me personally, I was able to implement Canva into the workplace. We used Adobe before, and it was very expensive and very, I think, overkill for what we were doing. So being able to implement something like Canva, doing a trial as a free version, and then building up to where we use it now. It's quite fantastic, and everyone loves it, much better than Adobe. So that's good. And I think something that is a little bit less spoken about is just being great to work with, and the fact that dealing with people is so important. Not many people think this through. They think it's just a job and that's it. But the reality is, a lot of the time, it's more than just doing the job. It's about building those really important relationships with those around you, from the most junior person, from the admin person, but to also, your bosses, and partners, or directors or managers around you is going to be really important too. Not so you can suck up and um, do any of that, but more to to showcase yourself, to profile yourself, demonstrate that you're in the business, you're visible, you're contributing, you're hitting KPIs, you're super successful with what you do. There'll be no reason that the company will not want to give you a raise and really showcase as a case study. Hey, this is what happens when you work really hard. You're great to deal with. You're smart. You can negotiate well. So just a couple of tips here that this is quite easy in the sense that you already have a job more than likely, or you're already working for a business, or you own a business. These are some small things that you can start implementing slowly over time, and they make well of a difference, because the reality is getting a $10,000 raise or a $20,000 promotion is going to be, through these means, is going to be a lot quicker than trying to start your own business and make $20,000. So yeah, there's one example on how you can make some income quicker. Now, another really good way, which I've personally done myself, is take on a side hustle or a business. Now, there are some really simple ones here that I've selected that anyone can get involved in. So platforms like CarShare and Turo can be used to rent your car, or Airbnb can be used to rent spare rooms. Now, the reason why I've selected these is because most people in developed countries like Australia, America, the United States, the UK, Europe, they all have cars. So it's something that you don't use 24/7, and it does sit outside for a lot of the time unused. So you can rent it out during those times. Now, is it a little bit risky? Is it a little bit weird to have someone using your car? Potentially, yeah. But the reality is, if you're wanting to make income, and if you're someone who complains about not having enough money, but you have a car that's sitting out there being used a couple days a week, I mean, you don't really have an excuse. Something needs to give. And the same goes for renting spare rooms on Airbnb or something similar. A lot of people think that's really weird, but some people have, decided to move in with roommates because they can't afford their rent, or they're looking to save more. And personally, I would also rent out my spare rooms, because um, to me, it's rooms that I'm not using. I'm not generating income from them, and they could be used to generate income, especially if I was struggling with money. Now, a couple other side hustles or businesses could be, those within the gig economy, and that could be, for example, Uber Eats or Airtasker for ad hoc work. Now, Uber Eats or Deliveroo, or whatever delivery services near you, this could be really great to become a delivery driver. You may also have opportunities like Amazon being a delivery driver, or Australia Post for Australia to be a delivery driver casually could be really good. Now, Airtasker is really good for really ad hoc work. So they normally post a job, and then you can kind of give a quote. And these jobs can be anything from dog walking, house sitting, cleaning, moving things, just anything really. So that could be really interesting as well. Now, small, simple businesses like flipping items or something that you enjoy, for example, selling cookies, could also be really good. This is what I've personally done as well: flipping, old iPhones, flipping computers, building computers, repairing iPhones, um, even to cars has been really great for me and has made a lot of money. But also, if you really enjoy cooking, for example, people love buying some really great cookies. And they do quite well on social media if that's something that you're also interested in. And look, for some people, even though I feel like this will work for most people, they'll say, "Oh, it's not possible for XYZ reason." Now, if that's not possible at all, the look at what you currently have, and just cut that in half, whatever it is. So if you're going out to eat, a couple times a week, reduce it to once a week. If you currently have a $20,000 car, sell it for a $10,000 car. If you're currently, not bringing food to work, and instead you're purchasing food, cut that in half as well. Start buying food at home and cooking at home. Is it, would it be easier for some to just, grow their income and keep their current life? Yeah. But for some people where that's not an option, it'd be better to, reduce those costs through cutting expenses and then generate more income that way. Now, I've spoken about the easy ways that you can grow income, but what are some more long-term ways to increase your income? Now, if you've tried everything in your job or business, right, start exploring new options instead. So, if you just can't, potentially you've hit the ceiling on your job or your business. It's very unlikely for a business, but maybe instead you're sick of it. It's something that doesn't excite you anymore. Proactively start trying new things and sourcing different avenues to create income. Now, you can start this through journaling to find what you really enjoy. Maybe it's a case of testing different, potential careers. Maybe it's a different industry sector. Maybe it's just a whole different thing. Maybe it's helping people instead of just working for money. And then you end up enjoying that much more, and then through that you're making more money. So you don't have to look inside of your job or business, but I think initially it could work really well, and then long term you can always pivot from there. Now, personally as well, I really enjoy this, and that's investing into growing an audience or building an online profile. So this is what I'm doing currently as I'm speaking right now. This is on YouTube. But the same could be said, for example, on Instagram, on Twitter or X, LinkedIn, Medium. There's many different ways you can do this. Now, you might not earn income very quickly through the platform paying you itself, but you could implement something like affiliate marketing, where you include links to different products or different services. People click those links, and then you get a cut or a referral fee or a commission from that. That could be really interesting as well. But again, this is a long-term way. This requires lots and lots of hours, potentially each day, to build up to something that's generating a good bit of income. Now, this is something that I personally think is a non-negotiable nowadays, but investing into, either the stock market, real estate, or other equities, for example, cryptocurrency, potentially another business, maybe a cafe, maybe you become a part owner in a YouTube business. Whatever it is, your money should be working for you and not just sitting in a bank account. You may think that your interest rate of your bank account is quite great, but I guarantee you there's a million other options for investments that will make you quite a bit more than your bank account. So I wouldn't rely on your bank account as an investment, more just as a place to store money. But yeah, currently most of my money is invested. I don't really have too much cash right now, but if I do, it's waiting to be invested into something. Now, one other point I wanted to mention, because you can make all the money you want in the world, and some people do this, but they're not able to control their spending. So, if you're looking at this video just because you're spending a lot, and that's why you're looking to increase your income, maybe look at it the other way and ask yourself why you're looking to increase your income. And if it's because you're spending too much, put things in place to reduce that. Systems are really important when it comes to controlling your spending. For example, you could salary sacrifice. So that means money from your job goes straight into investments before you can even see it from your employer. Potentially, you put restrictions on your credit card or your debit card so you can't spend money as much or at specific stores. But also, if you can kind of develop a mindset over time through education, through watching people online, like I have, where they just don't spend a lot and they kind of enjoy their life as is. And I've really been able to develop into that mindset as well. And that's why I'm able to save so much. So I don't necessarily have a budget, but it's because I just don't really spend too much money. So, and that works really well for me. But yeah, so hopefully you guys really enjoyed the video. Long story short, there are a few easy ways to increase your income, likely within your business or your 9 to 5. You should definitely pick up a side hobby of sorts. Most people can do this, but if you're not able to, for whatever reason, you need to start cutting down your expenses, and ideally invest in that income growth, or controlling your cost mindset over time, develop it even further, and then potentially live a stress-free life where your income much exceeds what you're able to spend. So yeah, hope you guys have found value in the video, and if you have any questions, make sure to let me know down below. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.